This video is for you if you're trying to decide between two states, Oregon and Texas, either for work or school. If you want to know the pros and cons from someone who has lived in these states, then stick around.
Life is a winding road.
Alright, welcome back to Chika's Diaspora Diaries. My name is Chika and it's very nice to meet you, and thank you for coming back to this channel. On this channel, we'll make videos that help immigrants that are coming to the States. Anything from my life as an immigrant in this country that I've learned, I'm happy to share with you. So if that's something that you're interested in, stick around. Also, I try to explore my environment. So if you like travel vlogs, also stick around and subscribe, and let's go on this journey together. Today we're talking about differences between two states that I have lived in. Texas, for one, lived there for a bunch of years. To school there, two schools there, work there, have family there. So Texas is dear to my heart. And then Oregon, which I just moved to recently. My husband lives here, so you know, I made the move here, so I also had the opportunity to experience life here as an immigrant. So let's get started with some geography so we know where these states actually are. So you're looking at the map of the US. Texas is one of the southernmost states in the US. It's bordered by Oklahoma in the north, New Mexico in the west, and Arkansas and Louisiana in the east. While Oregon is up north, it's in the Pacific Northwest. Geographically, it's bordered by Washington State in the north, Idaho in the east, and California and Nevada in the west. Let's talk about the weather. At one point, in Texas, it's mostly sunny and dry for most of the year. The winter here rarely ever snows. The one snow that I remember that we had was, I think, 2020. It was during the lockdown era, and that's when you had like the big snowstorm. But usually we don't have any of that. While in Oregon, rain is not your mate. They have it here and they dish it out to you every day. Yeah, it is very unusual for it to be sunny during the spring months. But I do love the weather because you hardly use your ACs here, if you have ACs, because it's not always as hot as Texas is. It is hot, it gets hot sometimes, but most of the year, from what I've experienced, it can be hot in the morning or hot in the afternoon and cool at night. So if you open your windows, you can sleep easily, and it's very crisp, cool breeze. Texas, you will be melting. You will melt out in the sun. So number two is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Living in Oregon is my first experience of paying for bags when you go to a grocery store. You see people here entering Walmart or Kroger or all other super chain grocery stores with like a recyclable bag. So not like a plastic bag, but like I don't know what you call it, the reusable bag. That's what I'm trying to, yes. Because when you go to most grocery stores, they charge you for using a bag, and that helps you, of course, be mindful of the plastic bags that you have in your arms, right? And I feel like it's actually affecting me, because now I'm like, okay, that is recyclable, let's put it, let's not trash everything. But in Texas, you get a bag, you get everybody, bags everywhere. I have never experienced paying for a bag that I remember in Texas. Let's talk about driving. Okay, my brother made a joke one time about how in Texas you pay to drive your car, like literally everywhere. Not everywhere, but most places you want to go to, you might need a toll. I lived in North Dallas, right? So most places, even to the airports, I could not, as of then, find a toll-less road to the airport. And them tolls are not cheap because they add up. I mean, it's like, 86 cents here, 90 cents here, $1.03. They add up really quickly. Apart from the toll, everywhere is far. The average distance you drive from maybe your house to Burger King, maybe 20 minutes on the road. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating, but you drive a lot. Okay, the roads are nice and big, but the state itself is so big that everywhere is a drivable distance, right? You can't just easily walk to certain places. You might need a car. But in Oregon, I have yet to see a toll road. Okay, everywhere you drive for free. And then everywhere is, strikeable distance. Like recently I've been walking for 2 miles or 1 mile outside, and I can go to Walmart from there. I can go to Kroger, I can go to Sephora, I can go to IHOP, like all by just walking. I have never done that in Texas. Maybe it's where I lived, but that's something I've noticed, and I'm grateful for. Everywhere is closer together. So for this point, I would have loved to have known this before I actually moved to Oregon. So while in Texas, I had my car insurance with a certain provider, and that was well and good in the land. It was a pretty good rate. If I do say so myself, it was full coverage. By the way, if you need me to explain for those that are new in the States, and if you're trying to get car insurance, if you need me to explain how that works, drop a comment in down below, and I'll be happy to make a video about it. So I had a good insurance rate, and then when I moved to Oregon, I tried switching. Because whenever you move states, you have to switch your insurance. Even though it's the same company, you have to let them know that you're now in Oregon. So I tried to do that, and they said, oh, they don't insure in Oregon. I'm like, I thought people are global. Like, what? I said, okay, maybe I didn't hear well. It could be. So I tried looking it up online. Same thing. I said, okay, maybe that's a one-off company. Let me try looking at other companies. And same thing. They didn't want to take my car. It wasn't until I spoke with an insurance agent, not for a particular company. This one, I don't know how it works, but apparently so it's like shopping for airline tickets in like Priceline or Expedia, but a car insurance version of that. And so he let me know that a while ago, insurance companies started dropping. By dropping, I mean stop insuring Hyundai and Kia cars of a certain year range, because those cars had a feature that made it easier to steal them. Unfortunately, the year of my car fell into that range that they had dropped. So for those in my shoes, it was very difficult to find someone to insure your car, and even if you did, your insurance premium, that's your rate, would go up just because you have the car, even if you don't have any ticket or anything that could affect your insurance record. Anyways, did not know that. So and it's not only Oregon, some other states have dropped cars in that meet that criteria too as well. Thankfully, I found one eventually, but that was a hassle that I never had to experience before. So something to know. So the next thing that is very, very, very new to me was there's no central heating and cooling system in Oregon. Back in Texas, right? This might be new if you haven't lived in the States, but the temperature of your entire house or your apartment is controlled by one thermostat. Some houses control the temperature using two thermostats if it's a two-story house, upstairs and downstairs, right? But mostly it's it's one thermostat that controls the entire temperature. So but in Oregon, first of all, there's no even AC. There is no AC for most apartments here that I've been to. There's no AC. There's no even no AC, no central AC. And that's because of its geographical location, which is why I tried to explain it earlier on. It's right beside the Pacific Ocean, so historically Oregon hasn't been getting, doesn't really get cold. That's what I'm trying to say. So there wasn't any need for ACs, because it's like when you're like by the ocean, you just get nice what's it called, coastal weather or tropical weathers, right? And so over the years though, it's been getting a lot warmer, and apartment buildings that were built so long ago haven't caught up with that fact. So most of the apartments don't have ACs. Some do, but they have an AC in a room, right? Not like for the entire house, just per room, mostly in the living room that I've seen. So if you want to have AC here, you have to buy one, and you connect it to, like, not connect it to the window, but it has to be placed by the window, and connect the vent and pipe and all those things. It's a manual process. But for heaters, they do have heaters, but it's not central. There's usually, in all the apartments I've been in, there's a heater in every room. So and there's a thermostat that controls that one heater in that room. So this point is very helpful if you work in the States. Every state or every paycheck you gets taxed in the state. Some states, in addition to the federal government taking their share of your paycheck, the state takes their share of the paycheck too, which means you have less money that comes to you in your paycheck. Texas is one of the very few states that do not have state income taxes, meaning you get more money in your bank when you get paid. But it's not only good news. They have sales tax, which means for every sale you make, everything you buy, you get taxed a little bit, in contrast to that, Oregon doesn't have, or it does have state taxes, so you see less of your money every month. But when you buy things, you don't have sales tax. So like zero for taxes. Of course, it's not for every single thing, right? Like you still pay taxes on flights, unfortunately. But for most other things, like you buy on Amazon, even expensive things like gadgets, $0. That'd be $0 in taxes. So that's something you might need to get used to and plan for if you're thinking of moving to a state that doesn't have an income tax, or a state that has an income tax. Alright, that's the end of the video. So if this was helpful to you in any way, please leave a comment below. If you have more points or more differences in these states that you've noticed, like and share with someone who needs this information before they make their decision on a big move.